Well, Hush Hush Biz today is very pleased to be talking with a singer vocalist, Lara Goodridge, who has an incredible background to her musical career. But today we're here to speak to her about Fourplay String Quartet. And Lara, welcome. How are
Thank
you?
you, Caroline. I'm very well, thank you.
Well,
Very
you're
pleased to be here.
Yeah, well, we're absolutely, excited to speak with you this morning, and
Thank
you're obviously speaking from Sydney,
I
and
am. I am. If
in
I
your
showed you my window, it would be all grey.
that's all right. We just want to look at you because you look gorgeous. You're very stunning, as well as talented, and obviously I'd love to start with the fact of how you began your career, but also tell us about the Fourplay String Quartet because there's some very exciting things. You're touring, you've got a new album with a new single that's highlighted, which is
Yeah,
obviously called, the album's The Taste of, the
that's right.
yeah, and also just give us all the, up and comings of,
Well,
everything
okay.
that's coming.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. Sure. So, well, Fourplay String Quartet, for those who don't know us, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people who don't know us, we have been around for a whopping 28 years, which we still pinch ourselves at. And in that time, like 26 or 7 years ago, we started off doing covers of known rock songs, and we were excited by, we all loved popular music and we loved alternative music and we loved music outside of the classical training that we'd all had. And so, inspired by the Kronos String Quartet, we started doing versions of things like Metallica and Jeff Buckley and the Beastie Boys. And we recorded an album in, I think, 1998, crazy, last millennium, and we got a rotation on Triple J. And at that time, all we had was a PO box. We didn't even, this is pre-mobile phones. We didn't even have a mobile phone or a website, clearly. So we gave people our PO box, and Peter, our cellist, was going daily to the PO box, and hundreds of letters just falling out of the PO box for orders for our CD. So that's kind of how we got on the map in a way, and we started playing at festivals. In fact, we played at it could have been the inaugural Byron Bay Music Festival, not the Blues Festival, but the Music Festival, which only lasted a couple of years. But it was great because we had people moshing. We had people moshing at the front of our stage, to a string quartet. And we started to really make a name for ourselves at that time. And look, I don't know how much detail you want from 28 years ago to now, but, fast forward and what we've done with this album, kind of on the tail of, we can talk about that in a minute, but we did a collaboration with the UK author, script writer, screenwriter, comic book writer, Neil Gaiman, who is extremely prolific and an amazing artist in many, many ways. On the tail of the release of that, for which we debuted at number one on the Billboard classical crossover charts in the US, we decided to do a best of. So a taste of ... foreplay is a best of album from our last 3 studio albums, which has had this particular lineup. We've had 3 different lineups in our 28 years. And the new guy, Shenzo, who is a Queenslander, he's been with us for almost 18 years now.
18 years. Amazing.
Yeah, he's the new guy.
He's the new guy. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't remember. I need to check that with him. But yeah, the new guy. He's still on probation, of course. But
Really?
Jokes. He's an incredible addition to Fourplay. He's been an absolutely incredible team player, member of this band, and we've really grown in so many ways with him on board. And hopefully some of your listeners will know Shenzo Gregorio. He's been a steadfast participant at Woodford Folk Festival, and
and absolutely.
Brisbane Music.
Yeah, I've seen him at Woodford, and I actually know of him. And a beautiful musician. So
he's incredible. He's a really virtuosic player. I mean, really virtuosic player. But he's also an extraordinary improviser. Extraordinary. And really, there aren't many improvisers in Australia on the violin, and he's really up there in that top cream of the cream.
That's amazing. Tell me, obviously, being a violinist, how many hours do you have to, practice? Or how did it start with violin? Because I just admire that instrument, but it looks like it's a wicked instrument.
Yes, I just picked it up this morning for a little bit of a warm up, and I've been away for a few weeks, and I'm feeling very rusty. There are definitely many times that I really feel like I can't play at all, and then other times you really get into that groove. But hopefully my can't play is better than I think it is. I started playing the violin at 3.5, and apparently I saw kids playing Suzuki violin, which is aimed at young children, and I saw young kids playing the violin. I saw them on television, and I said to my parents that I want to do that, and so they, of course, jumped on that and encouraged me all the way, and music has been an enormous part of my life, all my life.
All your life. So you're natural, and you it's...
Yeah, look, I guess it has been a natural thing. I mean, possibly I leaned on my natural abilities too heavily and should have practiced more so that my technique is better. But certainly music is a place that I feel very, very alive in, and it's just such a lovely thing to be able to do for a living, let alone for a hobby, or for a passion. So I love doing what I do.
So with emerging artists that were looking at that type of instrument, would you then say practice is more the thing they would have to dedicate themselves to?
That's a great question from what I just said. Yes, I would definitely encourage. I was actually having a bit of an argument with my son yesterday. He didn't want to practice his drums, and he was like, I'll do it, later in life. I'll quit. I just want some time off, and then there's later in life. And I said to him, no, there's only now. There's only now. And, I wish the times that I didn't feel like practicing, I wish I'd been able to push myself a little bit harder to have that discipline. But that every day is a new day to get better and practice and refine your skills. It's never too late, and it's certainly never too early. So and I have to say that's something that Shenzo, speaking of Shenzo, that's what he plays every day for hours, and that's why he is as good as he is. That's one of the main reasons, other than being extremely talented. But he hones his skill. He works at it.
Yeah.
I don't work at it as hard as Shenzo does, and it shows. But still, I still work at it, and I work a lot in different bands, so I'm always playing.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Now, please tell us about the obviously, the current tour that you're on, and you're coming to the Gold Coast, and about the album and everything there.
Yeah, so So we haven't toured for a while. Everyone lives in different states. Two of us live in New South Wales. We've got one in ACT, and Shenzo is in Queensland. So rehearsing and touring has to come together, with a lot of planning and a lot of strategy. We need to, and so we really, like I say, off the back of this collaborative album that we did, we thought it would be nice for people who are only discovering us through the album that we did with Neil Gaiman, because we felt that we probably managed to expand our audiences to some new people through that album, because there'd be Neil Gaiman fans who would be hearing us for the first time, even in Australia.
Yeah.
Because we don't tour a lot. There are a lot of people who just don't know us. That we just thought it would be a great opportunity to revisit some of our studio albums that we love. We're really proud of the albums that we've done. And sometimes, you can put things out there into the world and they don't really get the life that you foresee for it. Either we didn't get to tour things enough, or we didn't get good publicity, enough publicity for people to hear about our album. So we just thought it was a great opportunity to kind of reintroduce ourselves to people and release an album. And because vinyl's so in at the moment, we thought we'd make a vinyl. So we're not selling CDs of this album, we're just selling vinyl, and then you can find a taste of on Spotify. So over the years, particularly the last two albums that we have put out as Fourplay, are all original music. So as I mentioned before, we started off doing covers of well-known songs. But as the years went on, we started to find it harder and harder to find songs that we wanted to cover. I mean, back then when we were in our 20s, it was great and it felt alive and interesting to be doing Beastie Boys and Metallica. And other than the Kronos Quartet, we were actually almost the only string quartets doing it. Now it's actually quite popular. There are a lot of string versions of songs out there. So doing covers now doesn't feel as exciting, and it doesn't feel as relevant for us almost 30 years later. So over the years, we developed our own compositions more and more, and we love writing together as a group. So this album, we've thrown in two of the covers. We do one cover of a Radiohead song, and we do a cover of The Strokes, one of the Strokes songs called Reptilia, and the rest are our own compositions. So, we're taking this show on the road. And we've got, I can tell you our tour dates whenever you want.
Yes, please. Let us know the tour dates.
Yeah, so the first gig, and the gig that that kicks off this tour, is on this Friday the 28th of July. And it's at Ipswich Civic Centre. I'm looking at my phone.
Great.
All the
Fantastic. We'll put these all on website as well. But, please tell us online now. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Ipswich Civic Centre. Then this Sunday as well, is at at Tom Atkin Hall in Tugan. Which will be lovely. That's the first time we've played there, and that will be really nice. And same with Ipswich. That'll be our first show there.
Ipswich is fantastic, by the way. That centre's lovely. Yeah.
We're really looking forward to that. And then Saturday, August the 5th, we're going to be at the Music Lounge in Wollongong, which is part of the South Coast Writers Festival as well. Yeah. So at that show, actually at all the shows, we're going to be doing a few songs from the collaborative album with Neil Gaiman. And those of your listeners and watchers who know Neil Gaiman will get to hear his voice. He's not going to be there, but we're going to be playing to track. And hopefully next year we'll be touring with Neil Gaiman.
Oh, wonderful.
And then, which will be very exciting, very exciting. And then on Sunday, August the 6th, we're going to be in Canberra at the Street Theatre. And then Sunday, the 27th of August, is our Sydney launch, and that's going to be at the Jewish Writers Festival at Bondi Pavillion.
Oh,
So it's just a little handful of special shows, and as the year progresses, we'll do some more shows.
Oh, fantastic, Laura. Look, that is, look, you're a unique band, you're unique in how you've done things, and I think, with the fact of, just this tour, and I did listen to your music last night, the cabaret, the collection that was on YouTube, and it was just divine. It was a blend of just beautiful music, but it had, I don't know, it had so much incredible energy to it. It was.
Thank you. Yeah, I think like a lot of bands, the recorded sound has its own thing, but then going to see a band live brings it to life. And
nothing like it.
Yeah, there is a big energy to us on stage. So hopefully that inspires some people to come and see us.
I think, look, people, I don't know, again, I think the COVID, I know that we're in winter, but I think people are still wanting to get out to see the live aspect and appreciate, performances that are unique like yours. So, we wish you all the best with your tour, and it was an absolute delight to speak with you today. And I hope I can see you maybe in Ipswich. So
Please come.
Yeah, I'd love to. I would just love to. So yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Get your people to talk to our people, and we will put you on the door for sure.
Absolutely. So thank you. Thank you very much. Well, have a wonderful, again, incredible tour, and also to yourself. Thank you again for talking to us today.
Thanks so much for having me, and we look forward to seeing all of you guys soon.
Soon, absolutely. Thank you again, Laura.
Thanks, Caroline.